Welcome aboard the Turtle Blimp.
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Exclusive.
What up guys, it's your boy Jair aka Dripmode and welcome back. Today we're gonna get creative and we're here in my showroom and we're here again looking at my turtle collection. Now I've been updating it, you know, holothons going on. Was able to get some new additions to the collection, but I just love this collection. The cartoon line that NECA is giving us is addicting. It's just, I can't believe they're really going down every single character. We're gonna have an opportunity to have all these characters in our collection. So as I was looking at the collection, I said, man, what else can I contribute to this collection besides dioramas? So I'm gonna show you what I have in mind. Boom! Here is the glider from the Turtle Blimp. This is from the early 90s and man, it's pretty cool, right? But I was looking at it and I was like, why is it green? It's supposed to be gray. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna customize this to look like the one in the cartoon. And I'm noticing a couple differences, you know. First, the wings are cut short. They're supposed to be a little longer. There's a trigger here for the toy when you can drop the bombs. That's not in the actual cartoon. So, I'm gonna actually try to make this look like the one in the cartoon. That's what I'm gonna do today, guys. I think I could do it. What do you think? Let's get to it. And I'm gonna first take it apart and prime it. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so it's completely taken apart and the hardest part was the back wheel, and then there's two screws inside of the I want to say it's the left wing. So take off the left wing and then take off these two screws and it'll make your life easier. So before I get to priming, I'm gonna sand these guys down right here. These are from the original toy. That's where they hang the bombs and then you drop them. I'm not gonna need the trigger anymore, so that's the piece that I'm taking off. And I'm just going to basically cover that with epoxy. So I would recommend first let's do that before we get into priming. I got my dribble. So what I'm going to do is I'm planning to sand down these areas right here. This is where the grenades, where the bombs were hanging from. So I'm going to sand this kind of like indentation here, smooth it out, and then use epoxy to fill it in. Alright, so I just gotta fill in these holes right here on both sides, and then where the trigger is at, I also want to fill that in as well. Here's my epoxy, A and B, and we're gonna just grab a same amount on each side and you start mixing them together, and now it activates. And you have kind of like a, I want to say like an 8-hour window before it hardens 100%. Gonna put some tape in the back, and then you can remove it once the epoxy hardens. Fill it in. Alright, and then we're gonna use a bit water, using the sponge to kind of wet it. And this just helps smooth it out. Okay. Alright, so now that's done. I'm gonna let it dry and then we can sand it down to really fine it down to it looks like it's almost seamless. Alright, next up is the wing. I'm noticing in the reference there's an extension that goes up. So I'm gonna be using this foam board to be my base, and then I'm probably going to use epoxy or maybe clay, I don't know yet, but let's get to the wing first. So I started drawing the wing, and it's gonna be elevated up. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So let's start cutting it. There we go. I'm playing with poster foam, playing with balsa wood, and I forgot. I was going through my inventory, and I got this sheet of wax that a friend of mine from Austin Toy Museum gave me, and he uses this for doing certain props for crossplay, and it's very flexible. It's wax, and I'm debating on using this instead because it's flexible and it's thin enough. And then what I'm thinking about is putting epoxy on top of it so that I can manipulate it as I'm making the wing. Alright, I'm gonna get my dribble and drill right in the middle. Put this wire inside, have it all glued inside, and this will be the leverage that I'll put underneath this right here. There you go. So that seems to work. And then I'll start adding the epoxy to it. Alright, now that I figured out this part, I'm going to be using epoxy again to now start molding it together. So I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to let this get hard, and then I'm going to continue the next layer. Okay. Alright, I put some epoxy right here. And let's see if it closes. Boom, it closes. Just gotta sand down this epoxy right here. Yeah, see that? I always put extra just in case, and then I could just sand it down after. So. Alright guys, it's the next day. Great result. Now I'm gonna continue with this piece. But as I'm working on this, to be proactive, I'm going to start priming all these pieces. As you can see here, everything's smoothed out. You know, once you prime it, you're going to expose the areas that you may need to kind of retouch. Alright guys, so it dried up. The epoxy got solid. So right now I'm going to do is sand it down as much as possible, just to make sure I can try to mimic that plastic finish. Yeah, so I got 400, the 400 sandpaper. That's the finest one you probably get it in Home Depot. Looks like it's pretty smooth. I'm going to spray it so I can really expose all the areas that really need sanding down. Alright, so we're going to start priming. For those that are curious, I use this right here, Krylon 2-in-1 prime. This is for actually for cars. Perfect for this. So I'm going to use this and let's get it started. So I'm playing around while other pieces are drying, and went through my Legos, and what I'm doing here is, in the cartoon one, the gun is underneath. So I want to put it in a way where it won't interfere. Got this piece. I was able to just like saw off. It was like a little stick that's kind of prevented me from putting it inside, but I removed it. Then I'm gonna squeeze this guy in here, and then I have this little cap right here, gonna be at the edge on the other side of it. So then now it won't come out. And there you go. That worked perfect. So now I was thinking of this. So like this, it should work. Alright, so off camera I got all into it and was able to keep spreading the epoxy to blend it in, sand it down, and get it to this point, and then start priming it. There's still some, you could tell there's some imperfections here that I gotta keep on going at it, but in general it's going in the right path. So pretty excited, but now I'm gonna move on to building the center console. So I'm looking at the reference center console that's more like a square. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep on using this wax, and gonna plan to mold this. So I want to build the rest of it, so it's gonna go up to the top right here, and this is gonna help me get to that. So there you go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing what I did with the wings. I'm gonna use epoxy to blend it together. Alright, so now I'm gonna work on the center console, and I got the reference. I have a couple ideas. I'm gonna chop this part off, seal this. Alright, so that's the next day, and sanding down the surfaces so it could look really good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just spray it with the prime so I could expose all the imperfections that I will have to go back and sand down. And this is kind of like the pattern that I'm sanding down as much as you can, prime it, expose the imperfections, go back at it, refine it, sand it down again, prime it until you feel happy with the result. So alright guys, next up is the missiles. So I'm looking at the bottom of the wing, and I need some missiles for this wing right here. The first idea I got is using super glue, the actual container as my missile. Now the missiles are small, the missiles are within the wing. Boom, here you go. Now to get here, what I had to do was I had to remove the sticker, prime it, and then cut off that much to get this tiny little missile. That's big enough. That solved my problem. Real quick, real simple. Being crafty, trying to find things that we have around the house that we could, make these accessories possible. I'm getting ready to start painting, so just taping as much as I can, and then the rest I'm gonna bag. So next up, I'm working on adding the bars that allows you to steer the front. I play with Legos too, but I use them more for parts, to be honest with you. So I was like, man, how am I gonna get this turtle to be able to grab, especially with the space that I'm limited, big shell. I had to figure out how to come up with a steering bar. So I found these pieces right here. So this could be joint that allows you to bend. Using this, plugging it in here. Boom, now we got, I gotta make the bar long enough for the turtles to grab onto. So it's like this, but if you look at the reference, it doesn't look like this at all, right? But with the space, I have to be able to connect it here, and with the limited space on the turtle, and it's gonna go into the bottom portion. So I know that's not accurate to the cartoon, but hey, it's the solution for what I have here. I added another hinge in there, and I can connect it, and look, we got ourselves a handlebar. So look at that. You know, here I could have Donnie. There we go. Holding the bars. All I gotta do is connect that and boom. Alright, so I just masked the whole thing just to paint the chair. Got a more of a lemon yellow, so I'm gonna spray this now. Alright, so I'm in this state right now. Got a lot of things painted, but saving the hardest thing for the last, and it's because I got this guy right here, and he belongs right in here. So to get him in there, I actually gotta put him inside, lock it, and then I can start working on it, because after I work on this, I won't be able to take this guy out. So here's that wax piece already molded to fit this space right here, and now it's gonna continue what I did with the wings for this right here. I'm gonna be using the epoxy. Sand it down, prime it until you feel happy. So that's the back and forth relationship with this part right here. Then I start painting the dark gray areas, so I'm just masking out those areas and using my airbrush and getting into those details. Let's get to it. I just realized I just missed an opportunity here, but it's all good. You know, now the plan is how am I gonna attach these guys underneath. So I got some Legos, 2 little pegs. This is what I'm thinking. You drill a hole, and then you put the stub part inside of it, hot glue it, and the top part will be glued underneath, and the bottom part will be glued towards with the actual bomb. So at least I'm able to take them off if I need to. And boom. Put it face down. I'm gonna let that dry. I glue this first. Here you can see the Lego pieces. I'm gonna paint them gray just to blend them in, but just check this out. See, this is the goal right here. Just be able to easily put them on with no problem. Boom. And they're easy to take off. Oh, that came out perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Alright guys, so now I'm working on the cockpit. There's like a unit here with some gauges. Just copying the reference, and this did a file in Illustrator, and ended up getting this size right here. And now I added the gray. So if I put it right here, that would look really cool like that. It's good enough. It's good enough. Alright guys, so now we're in the moment of truth. This is now the outlining. So I'm looking at it, and not everything needs to be outlined, but certain things that needs to pop out will, you know. So like maybe the details behind here, you know, the chair outline, the console, the light, these little things, you know, will be great to start outlining. I'm using these black liners. Is a permanent marker. It's really thin. 1.4, and you can see the tip is really fine. So I'm gonna be using this to start giving the glider its cartoon accents. Looking good. I think it's time to go off to the reveal. I think so.
Come on, guys! Welcome aboard the Turtle Blimp. Look, an Acme Technologies digital video transceiver. This is big league gear. Show them the turtles know how to party! Let's kick some shell!
Here you go, guys. Here is my Ninja Turtle glider from the Turtle Blimp, and this was a really fun project. I want to mention all the extra things that I did. You guys don't even have to do that. You could just repaint it as is, and for some of you guys it may be enough. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the wings really takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of finesse. And it's something that if you want to tackle it, great. If you don't want to tackle it, it's okay. You paint it like this without those additional modifications. Now I have here, guys, I have all the turtles on the actual glider because I wanted to show you guys how they would look. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were concerned about, you know, being anatomically correct and would it fit. Obviously, it's a bit heavy if you have all the figures there. You know, you want to have them like hanging from the ceiling type of thing. But in reality, this is just a close representation to the cartoon one. Now, this build is not at all accurate. I did my little modifications to get it close, but still we're far away from it. This glider should be way bigger, and this wing is definitely a lot more thicker. And some of the details that come from the original one, it's not in here, and definitely that'll be something that I have to either build on top of this and really modify the heck out of this glider. So for this one, really the things that really stood out to me was the fact that they clipped the wings. So I really wanted to put those things, and then the paint job. It's green. It's originally green. Now I'm going to show you guys a comparison side by side so you guys can see this. So here they are. Here I have them side by side. You can see that the original one came in green and orange. Here you can see the wings are clipped. You know, they added the orange. This, I don't know what you want to call it, center console. But, you know, this is not at all in the cartoon, you know. Is that, and then actually you're missing all the additional grenades. But in this toy, they have it on the side so you could drop them. You can see the trigger in the back. So overall, it's a nice representation for the Turtle Blimp, but if you want to get accurate, you can see here, it's just no comparison. Now here's the back. You can see it just really looks like Fisher Price. Playmate really just made this for kids. And here you can see I'm missing my wings, but in general I just want you to compare the back. It's missing the actual grenades. Repainting it, adding those details is not much of a heavy lift, and I think anyone can do this. And finally, here I got them posing, hanging out with the Turtle Blimp. You got Donnie taking pictures on his phone, and you got Mikey, you know, pretending he's surfing on top of it, and then you got Leo just hanging out on the glider, and Raphael, because he's scared of heights, he's like, bah, bah, bah. But yeah, guys, this is it. This is my Ninja Turtle glider for the Turtle Blimp. And yes, I know you're like, hey, where's the blimp itself? And really, in the cartoons, I mean, the blimp is cool and all, but I really was digging the glider when I was smaller. Especially in the intro, you see it fly through, and that really just, I always remember the intro and the glider just kind of flying through the building. So that's what really the reason why I just stuck to the glider. It's my favorite part of the whole turtle blimp. But yeah, guys, here it is. Here is my Ninja Turtle glider from the Turtle Blimp for my Ninja Turtle NECA cartoon line that I repainted and modded. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something new. I know I have not been posting as frequently as I used to. Just been pretty busy. But guys, I'm still here, still creating, and still inspiring for all of us collectors here in this community. And guys, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, write a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
I'm